Hey everybody, we're back with Founders Friday, and I got my girl Janie here, the mindfulness coach. Thank you so much for always correcting me as well, girl.
She's always wanted to say mindful. And you know what, Janie, the mindful coach, I mean, I am mindful, but mindfulness, yes. And I'm really excited to be able to spread awareness about what that word means and getting to work with you. And
well, that's one thing that we wanted to do, is that this Founders Friday is, again, and I keep on talking about Founders Friday because just like you being the mindfulness coach, it's really taking you back to your original journey of what made you want to get into this space.
Yeah, and that's been a story in itself. I feel like we're all a story. We all have like we're all like a book, right? And so there's been these chapters in my life, and I feel like I've been through 3 major career transitions in my life.
Yes.
And it's pretty cool because each career, each job, even if it's just like when you're growing up, right, the jobs that you have, you can reflect back and take pieces of them because they all start to add up into the bigger picture of what your mission is, right? And what your purpose is. And I was really grateful that for whatever reason, at a pretty young age, I was always pretty courageous and a little bit of a risk taker.
And so, like you still are.
Yeah, and I still am. And in this funny way, you know, we all have the voice within, right? We have a couple of voices, and some of us have many voices, right? But there's the 2 voices, the one that champions you, and it's like the voice of the heart, and then there's the voice of like the head, right? That's like, well, but maybe you shouldn't. And it can be a little bit more on the fearful side.
Focused on really doing the Reiki? Because again, like everything that you talk about, but I really want to dissect what you said, because again, purpose. That's all I'm hearing for like us staying on our craziness task, is that we have to make sure that we serve everyone with a purpose and intention, right?
Yes, it's being intentional.
But how did you really get into Reiki? Yeah. And was that the first more spiritual thing that you got into?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. So I started kind of touching on the heart thing, right? The voice of intuition, because I feel like when you're really living in your purpose, following the voice of the heart is not always easy. And so initially I was in like a corporate career. I had a marketing degree, and I always had a love for public speaking and interviewing, very inquisitive. Never in a million years did I think that I'd be doing what I'm doing now. It wasn't like when I was in my early 20s, mindfulness was even a thing.
But when did you actually know that you were a gift? Because you really are so gifted. Like what age were you whenever you actually knew that you were gifted?
Since I was pretty young, every time I would interact with like my friends, or we'd like have slumber parties, touch was always a big thing for me, right? Like they were like, oh, brush my hair, or like, you know, or like tickle my back, you know what I mean? Tickle my back. And like, and it was like, I had this ability to help people just relax and chill and feel good, but you don't really connect dots. So as I moved forward, like, you know, moving forward in my life, from corporate career to then end up moving to Los Angeles for 12 years. It was in that space in LA that I started becoming familiar with other forms of holistic like healing and things like that. So even then it wasn't really something I started to pursue. It was in 2011 when I had this like crazy spiritual awakening. A lot of times this can happen to a person when you're going through maybe something catastrophic in life and major changes and things like that. And the things that were always there, like I didn't understand that not everybody could feel the feelings of other people just being around them. Yes. But then when I would put hands on people, I could like sense and pick up and feel things. And so that was something that started to get more, I guess you could say it was firing up more. And never did I realize that it was something that I was going to be doing for an actual career, that I could do something with it. You have to understand it and learn it. And it's not like building a relationship.
But 2011, I mean, so you were a little bit older to figure out really.
Yeah, I was in my 30s. I think it was in my 30s at the time.
And you're definitely more of like an empath.
Oh, yeah. Empath. Yeah, empath.
Empath.
Yeah, it's being empathic.
There you go.
Yeah, empathic.
She does the words. I can't speak today.
You know, all human beings have the ability to be able to feel what other people are feeling. Some of us just have it a lot more intense than others. Trauma, and when we don't deal with our traumas, it actually starts to affect those abilities because we start to disconnect from our emotional body and even from our body in general, and then it starts to create a lot of like dissonance.
So what made you from living in LA, how did you get back to San Antonio?
Yeah, so not to go into the long story of it, but my brother was getting ready to have a baby. It was going to be the first. She was going to be like my first niece, and at that time I had been in LA for 12 years already. I was doing a production, TV hosting, radio, fitness. And moving to San Antonio to be closer to family, I knew I was going to have to walk away from a lot of that work, but at the same time, I was being called into a different field, relationship coaching, life coaching, body work, massage, Reiki. I was really on a healing journey at that time too, peeling back, like Shrek says, the layers of the onion, and really wanting to know, like, who am I? Like, why am I here? What is life about? What is love? And blah, 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 blah. And I started asking these deeper questions about life. And it was through that process, as I started healing and getting certified in certain things, the things that were working for me, some of them I was being called to actually do. And Reiki was one of them. And I know that's a big thing that you like to touch on, because it's a healing modality that it's not something that a lot of people in San Antonio are aware of quite yet, but more and more people are starting to learn about, acupressure and acupuncture and reflexology, and there's the Eastern modalities and the Western. And I studied neuroscience. I was studying everything I could about the body and the mind and the heart and relationship stuff. And now it's kind of like I've been able to piece together all of this gnosis, this wisdom and this knowledge, but life experience itself has been the thing that has really taught me the most.
Now, what about your career journey? Because did you miss marketing? Do you ever just like be like, oh my goodness, I missed the corporate life.
I never, ever missed that life. I was in sales, and it was high pressure. I am one of those people that tend to be an overachiever. It's something I've been working on for a while now. So I got it in balance. I got it in check, but wanting to be the best and always wanting to come in at number one. And when you're in a high pressure sales job, even though I was doing marketing, it was still a sales and marketing type of job. And that creative side of marketing, because what I learned back then, the marketing world is completely different now with social media and all this stuff, right? And there's all these platforms, and the way you deliver
who would have
content.
guessed in 2011 if we would have started this back then?
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows where we would have been?
Exactly. But now the marketing part is still within it, right? Like I get to flex those muscles still, but there are the experts, just like you have your team here right now with us, that know how to best do that. So yeah, I get to use a little bit of that creative marketing stuff, even the production and being comfortable, like being on camera. All of that plays into even now as a mindfulness coach, because it was like relationship coach, life coach. And finally, I just realized at the end of the day, once I got my mindfulness-based stress reduction instructor certification, I realized—
That's a whole word. Say that again.
MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction. And actually, I would I tend to be dyslexic sometimes. I swear, and I'll like swap words. And I said that wrong for the longest time.
No,
so I'm really proud that I nailed it.
Great.
But even if it didn't really matter what people were coming to me for, if it was body pain, mental stuff, relationships stuff, at the end of the day, it's about building a real relationship, REAL, relationship with thyself. And the A that's in there stands for authenticity. We lie to ourselves about so many things. And so becoming self-aware, getting to a place of self-acceptance, self-accountability, self-responsibility, self-care and self-regulation.
Which, speaking of your self-care, because that's a big thing that I want to talk about. I mean, you look fabulous. You really do. What is like your number one beauty tip that you could give people, especially in the corporate world? Because again, now you're more in the aesthetic side, and I see how well you do your sound bath and stuff. What would be your first or your best beauty regimen advice?
Okay, that's a great question. It's funny, I have like my little paz mesa. Paz mesa means peace within. I have my paz mesa protocol, like how do I power up my peace daily? And you all actually touch on the lymphatic system here. You have technology here and different services to help with the lymphatic system, but basically moving, squeezing, tapping, clearing my lips.
We got to get on our bed to do the sound bath. It just feels so good.
Yes.
Well, and with that, that's where you look so great, because you're anti-aging, just everything about your skin. I mean, it really is incredible. Now, whenever you're in the corporate world, did you still look as good as you do, or were you kind of looking a little haggard whenever you were working all those marketing hours,
I know,
trying to get your success up?
I know, right? Because I really was a workaholic back then. Now I understand how important it is to rest and play, because resting and playing and creating a lifestyle that's just in there is another thing that helps with your youthfulness, right? So your vitality, how much energy you have, literally creates a level of light within the body. So when you're lighthearted and you're light-minded, and you know what I mean? Like you're just light, that's gonna come out. And so for me, breathing, grounding, and moving, dancing, playing, just real simple things that I do daily to help keep. There's a word called chi or prana,
now,
which is like your life force.
Coconut oils? Do you do cleansers? Like, what's your skincare bedtime routine regimen?
Okay, well, so basically, essential oils, my go-tos are peppermint, eucalyptus, just to kind of keep, everything
Do you actually
clear.
put it on your skin? Or just more breathing?
For skin.
Girl, I'm trying to get your beauty secrets here, girl. You keep on going back to Paz Mesa. We got to know what you do. What do you do whenever you go to bed?
It's funny because I'm so focused on like, what do I do on the inside to get this? Like, what about the outside? That's where she comes into play.
Yes.
Because my
But
outer
your skin
beauty
looks so great. That's why I want to see what you do at night for your skincare regimen.
Okay, I appreciate you saying that. So there is, drinking a good amount of water is one thing, and frankincense with a little bit. It has to be a little bit diluted with some oil. That's really good too for the skin. I pretty much wash my face daily and at night, like in the morning when I wake up and at night, but with like an organic cleanser. Let me think of what else that I do.
Do you do coconut oil? Do you
coconut
do walnut? Because I know there's so many different oils.
Yeah, coconut oil is really good. That's something that I use on my body, on my face sometimes. There's another one, castor oil. I know that sounds really crazy, but that's another thing. You can look that up and see. It's good for digestive stuff, but you can also use it on your face and on your hair. It's pretty thick. And
your hair is incredible.
Thanks. Yeah, I always wear my hair in a bun. I have very long, thick hair, and I tend to be a little lazy when it comes to like doing my hair. And so I've been bunning my hair for forever.
I saw your video though with all your hair down dancing.
I know. Every once in a while,
we got to get you in to get your before and afters. Your hair's great though. We could definitely use you as a model.
Thank you. I appreciate
a hair
that.
model.
Yeah, you're gonna do something special for me. I think you're gonna do a before and after in a few days.
Yes.
Like, yeah, exactly.
I want us to kind of end the closing of our show of asking each other questions, because I know I'm asking you all the questions, but I'm going to ask you the last question. If you want to ask me a question back, go for it, because why not, right? What's been the best experience with working here at the Beauty Bar One Wellness?
Well, the number one thing that's come to my mind is the staff here. Because you have the One Beauty Wellness, and then you also have the other side, which is Dr. Kuwamura's team. And everybody here really feels like family. It feels, even though they're very busy and they're all kind of moving all over the place, and working with Danielle, I've also, it's like osmosis, right? You get to kind of take on that boss babe kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, like she's just going around getting stuff done. And and I'm just more like, woo, so being able to blend that, take some of what you have and what I can learn from you, and you taking what you can learn from me. I feel like
I like that, because I want to learn from you. It's just so hard to stay calm.
Yeah, well, it's not like you
and
can.
Paz Mesa I need to do every morning, but I've been getting better at my breathing.
That's good. Yeah, any little bit that you do, I always say, give yourself a pat on the back for baby wins. This is all baby stepping yourself through the self-care and self-love journey.
I do feel like I am more empathetic as I get older. And then again, with you kind of teaching me with the sound beds, breathing right, everything like that. It's just been such a great experience working with you. And we're going to be doing more stuff together.
Yeah, her Paz Mesa quotient's going up.
Yes, that's what we got to do. But anyways, I'm super excited. Thank you so much for coming on and telling us your journey. I mean, I know that it's definitely a little bit different of a culture moving back to San Antonio, but you've done a great transition of just educating and learning more about what we could do to get more mindful and breathing and all the amazing stuff that you do to make everybody else better. And then again, you are on point, girl, with getting all of your energy on point. I've never seen you mad.
Oh, I get mad, but the way I handle my madness now is not as manic as it used to be in my early 20s. Let's just say that.
Okay, so
I've learned how to ground my Medusa.
Okay, girl, my Medusas are still out. I'm super excited. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll be back.
Peace be in you.
Bye.
Peace.